There's a wonderful quote from former US President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who said, "In preparing for battle, I've always found that plans are useless, but planning is indispensable." It's that idea that while your plans may change, the real value in planning comes from the strategizing and the thinking through the various steps you need to achieve, the skills you need to acquire, and the connections you need to make to reach your goals. Hi, my name's James Taylor, business creativity keynote speaker, and in today's episode, I'm going to take you through how I plan my year and why I don't make New Year's resolutions. You see, every December, January time since I was probably 16 years old, I've sat down with a notebook and a pen to reflect on the previous 12 months and to look forward to where I want to go next. However, pretty early on, I discovered that making New Year's resolutions didn't really suit my personality. I'd write out all these resolutions only to feel anxious and overwhelmed. If I stopped or I kind of failed in one of my resolutions after a few days, I felt terribly guilty. Now, if you're the kind of person who really gets fired up by New Year's resolutions and they work for you, then stick with them. However, if resolutions aren't your thing, I like to share how I plan my year and how you can too. And here's the most important idea upon which all my planning is based. I don't think in terms of 1 year planning. The danger of using 12 months as your frame of reference is that for many things it's too long, it lacks a sense of urgency, or alternatively, it just feels too short and doesn't really allow you to connect it with your larger mission in life. Instead, I'd encourage you to do planning in 90-day blocks of time. 3 months is enough time to get most projects accomplished, but not too long for you to lose focus or interest. Now, the first thing I suggest you do when you sit down with your notebook and pen is to really try and define and reconnect with your mission. We all have a limited amount of time on this little blue planet. What do you want to do with it? What is the core thing that drives you? A mission is not something you achieve, but rather something that propels you forward. It might be to make the world a more peaceful place, or to make people laugh through stories, or to reduce human suffering. In my case, it's to unlock the creative potential in 1 billion people worldwide. That's my why. What's yours? Next, I suggest that you list the top 5 values that are most important to you and their order of importance. Our core values are what we believe, and they're a great tool for making decisions. In my case, I know that learning is one of my top values and ranks higher than financial abundance. So often I will decide to do projects because they offer more opportunity to learn rather than the money that they're going to bring. What are your core values? What do you believe in? Then we have to create a vision for our life. To not just write it down, but to be able to visualize it in as much detail as possible. What we want to be, where we want to be, who we want to be with. You might have one sentence that sums up this vision, but it will be even more powerful. You can have a vision board in your home or your office or somewhere where you'll see it every day. I visualize it as my ideal week, and as this allows me to easily ask myself how different was last week to the vision of my ideal week, and then change course accordingly. Next, I think about my strategy. This is the game plan, the major steps or areas of focus for how you'll achieve your mission and vision. GE's Jack Welch wrote his strategy on the back of a cocktail bar napkin. I have my own 5-step strategy to achieving my mission. It's pretty simple. It's important to remember that strategy is not so much about what you decide to do, but what you decide not to do. You might also have different strategies for various parts of your business. For example, your strategy for becoming a best-selling author is going to be different from that of building a $1 million consulting or coaching business. Now, once you have your strategy, then you need to begin to move towards implementation and focus. A really simple tool for this is called a balanced scorecard. It's like a traffic light system. Let's say, for example, you have 4 key parts of your strategy. You want to know what the key performance indicators are for each of these parts. If part of your strategy is to spread your ideas through speaking publicly, then you might have a lead indicator. How many conferences are you contacting, offering to speak at each month? A lag indicator. How many speaking bookings have you secured? And maybe another KPI, like how many times this week did you practice your speech? By this stage, you've identified your mission, values, vision, strategy, and how you're going to measure your progress. It's almost like a plane which operates at 40,000 feet, 30,000 feet, 20,000 feet, and so on. When you get to around 10,000 feet, you're now deciding what your strategic initiatives are going to be. What are your 3 or 4 strategic initiatives or larger projects that will be taking 80% of your focus over the next 90 days. In the next episode, I'm going to describe to you how to move from the strategic that we've been talking about to the tactical. And we really get into how to plan out your year in 90-day cycles. We'll cover how myself and my team use 90-day objectives, targets, and 2-week sprints to achieve more in less time. Until then, I'd love if you would leave a comment on how you plan your year. See you soon. Did you enjoy that video? If so, there's 3 things that you can do so we can continue the journey together. The first is to click on the button to subscribe to this channel to get more amazing creativity videos like this. The second is you can get my free book on creativity by just clicking on the image here. And the third thing you can do is watch other videos in this series. Thanks for watching.